Welcome back to the Bryan Devore Connection. I'm your host, Bryan Devore, and welcome back to a guest who's been here before. She's the Executive Director of Hebrew Free Loans, and that is my good friend, Mindi Frankel. Mindi, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So I've had you here before.
Yes, thank you for having me back.
You're welcome, not just because I love you as a sister, because I've known you since I've been this big, but because of the work you do with Hebrew Free Loan, and you guys have some new programs, some new loan programs that are available we wanted to talk about. First, talk a little bit about Hebrew Free Loan to catch people up on what it is you do.
Absolutely. So Hebrew Free Loan offers interest-free, cost-free loans to members of the San Diego Jewish community living at or below the average median income. So, for instance, anyone, family of four living below $110,000 basically can apply for our loans. It's a pretty simple process. We have four major requirements. Are you Jewish? Do you identify as Jewish, work for a Jewish organization, or live in a Jewish household? Do you live at 80% below the average median income? Do you have a significant need, and what is that need? And then can you provide guarantors to help with your cosign for your loan?
Got it. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who qualify for that.
Yes.
And you and I were talking, there was a community study that was done that identified some of the needs that are out there in the Jewish community. And you just told me before we started filming a stat. If you want to share that stat.
Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of blew me away because there was a stat in this community study, and the community study talks about all kinds of things, demographics and people's relationship to their Judaism. Is it cultural? Is it? So it's a huge study, but the stat that blew me away was 1 in 3 people in the San Diego Jewish community cannot afford a $400 emergency bill.
Wow.
It's insane.
And $400 is nowadays is not
Nothing.
Much.
Right.
I mean, God forbid something happens, they get into an accident or food crisis or what have you. They can't afford it.
Right. So our loan programs, we have 9 loan programs. The new one that we're going to talk about, I'll leave off, but we do offer life cycle loans. So anything from IVF, surrogacy, adoption, funerals. We just helped a woman with an emergency funeral. Her grandma was a Holocaust survivor. She passed away, and she didn't have the money to transport the body to LA where her plot was. So personal needs loans, which will include rental assistance, electricity bills, I mean, the gamut, basic needs. Also debt consolidation, which is a big piece of our loan portfolio. Education loans for undergraduate, graduate, vocational school, anything like that. Recently, unemployed loans, which we've done quite a few lately. What am I missing? Small business loans and emergency loans.
Got it. And like you said, the $400 emergency is nothing.
Right.
All right. So what I wanted to really kind of focus on today, because this is near and dear to my heart, being the work I do with seniors, is some of the new programs you have specifically for seniors and the sandwich generation. Right. You know, their family members who are taking care of them. Talk about that.
So we just implemented our first new loan program. It's called Aging and Elderly Loan Programs, and there's multiple components of it. So we will do loans for help with expert aging, advice, where do I move, where do I go, what do I look at, respite care for family members that are taking care of loved ones that are aging, Alzheimer's and dementia expenses, in-home modifications for people that want to stay in their home, bridge loans for people that are moving. And thank you for all of your help with this. You were really instrumental in helping me get this program up and running. You know, my generation of friends are helping their parents, and so I have a lot of friends who are helping their parents try to navigate this right now. And I've watched you do this for so many years, and it made me realize that we're not financially prepared to do this.
Right.
And so how can we help? Mm-hmm. One of the other statistics in the study that was, and I'm not going to quote the percentage because I don't remember exactly, but it was something like 34% of the U.S. population is under 35, but 47% of San Diegans are under that age. So there's a much larger population of aging people in San Diego.
Yeah.
And coming out of the community study, I felt like this program was really important, impactful, and we're getting it up and running. I'm meeting with a ton of people talking about it. And the loans can be for people that are elderly that need some of this, that meet the qualifications, or their caregivers, family, loved ones that are helping them.
Right. And we're seeing that a lot, that, like you said, people aren't prepared for it.
Right.
I heard a stat the other day that said every every 5 minutes or whatever, one person is born, but 5 people are turning 65.
Wow.
So you think about
Right.
the ballooning senior population,
Right.
And they haven't prepared necessarily, haven't been able to prepare financially, and they're going to need that help. They don't know what help they're going to need.
Right.
And so, and like you talked about, your friends are navigating this, and a lot of my clients, a lot of my friends, we're in that age now where our parents are needing those types of things.
Right.
But I'm excited because there's a variety of services that you're able to provide. So, like you mentioned, palliative care, or an aging expert, or a care manager to kind of guide people on what kind of needs they're going to need. What I have found is that when it's a senior involved, it's not just one need. One need begets lots of other needs that come out. So what the qualifications would be the same?
Same. So are you Jewish? Do you identify as Jewish? Do you live in a Jewish household? What is your income? Do you meet the income requirements? Do you live in San Diego County? And do you have a guarantor?
Right.
And the guarantor piece is always interesting, especially for this type of loan, because if it's a senior that's living on fixed income that doesn't show an ability to pay back the loan, then potentially their loved one could be a co-borrower on the loan as opposed to a guarantor. We're a nonprofit. Our goal is to help people, so we're going to make that work as much as we can. We had a great year-end campaign. We have money in the bank. We want to get it out in the community. We want the money out there working for people. And a statistic of Hebrew Free Loan that I'm really proud of right now is we're at a 0% loan loss. So the way that our program works is you take the loan, and then a month later you start making your payments back. Now there are some differences. Our recently unemployed loans, depending on the loan, but most loan programs, if you get a check issued February 1st, March 1st, your payments will start. We do ACH payments. We have received almost $245,000 back in repayments to date. We have about $850,000 out in the community in loans, and we're at a 0% loan loss. So it's amazing.
That's fantastic.
I know that will change eventually, but it's a statistic I'm really proud of right now.
Absolutely. And if someone wants to take out money for a loan first, what's the maximum they can take out?
So all of our loan categories are different. For the category we're specifically speaking about, it's up to $10,000.
Okay.
But our loans do go up to $20,000. Our small business loans are our biggest loan, and education loans are our biggest loan amounts, and they start at $500.
That makes sense.
So the range is $500 to $20,000 depending on the loan category. And as a board and as a team, we're always looking at improving, changing. I've told you this a million times, every conversation I have is a learning experience for me, because we're still really new. We've only been around 2.5 years, and I like to say we're still a startup. I think now we're kind of in the growth phase a little bit.
More of an infant than you are a baby.
Exactly. We're learning to walk instead of crawling.
Right.
But it's ever changing, right? We're adding things. We could potentially change amounts as inflation increases. We just don't know what's going to happen. And
well, the good news is even $10,000 for someone, and a lot of times when it's a senior situation, it could be a crisis mode because mom fell, she broke her hip, she can't come home to her home the way it is now. We have to quickly modify the home, put up grab bars, put up ramps, whatever. But it's got to be done now before mom can come home. And talk about the $400. They can't afford the $2,000 or $3,000 to do these things. Now they have the opportunity.
Right. And they probably don't have $10,000 laying around to make the home modifications.
Exactly.
And home modifications, We are a bridge loan for a lot of people that don't have the cash. But I can tell you, so one of the things that we do is we require all of our debt consolidation loan recipients to work with a financial planner. And I just signed an agreement with the San Diego Financial Literacy Center. So we offer financial planning to all of our loan recipients. it's incredible how empowering that is for people.
I bet.
To meet with a financial planner, look at their budget, really understand their finances. The financial acumen of a lot of people is not great. And so this really empowers them on their path to financial security to understand, oh my gosh, what does it mean to take out use a credit card and have to pay back 25% interest? What does it mean to take a loan, to move, to afford? So I love that we offer that, because that is not only the money and the financial assistance, but the learning about it
Right.
is, and so.
Well, they say, give a man a fish or teach him to fish.
Right.
That kind of thing. So for more information about Hebrew Free Loan and to learn more about the senior programs that we're talking about, information is on screen, phone number, web address, and so forth. Obviously, if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast channel, you can't see it, but it's in the caption for the podcast. Mindy, thank you again so much for coming today. And
of course.
Get another program, and we'll have you come back again.
Awesome. And thank you for all your help with this program. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I'm excited about what we're going to do.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Awesome. Thank you.